Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, I finally did it. I bought a Moto Guzzi V7 Special. This bike was a pre-registered deal. With new Euro 5 Plus rules coming, you can find great discounts on Euro 5 bikes. To give you an idea, I got it for $6,699, which is about the same price as a new Royal Enfield Interceptor. That's nearly a $2,000 discount from its original $8,000 price. I'm comparing this to my first modern classic bike, a 2010 T100 Bonneville. It's a comfortable bike, but a little higher and further back would be perfect. It's hard to explain why. Maybe it's their shape. The other thing that bothers me, and would drive someone with OCD crazy, is the angle. I actually prefer the view from the left mirror, which feels more natural, while the right one is angled more towards me, maybe 20 degrees. It's a small quirk. However, there are a few cheap-feeling parts. These bikes are made in Italy, but some parts are bought from places like China. The switchgear on the handlebars definitely feels Chinese. It feels a bit cheap, and I know some people have had issues with the start button, but apart from that, the chrome on the mirrors and handlebars is nice. The clocks are really good too. But that little red marker on the clock? The clock itself lights up nicely at night and is very clear. Also, the end of this pipe looks roughly cut, while the other one is smooth and rounded. This bike is completely air-cooled, not even oil-cooled, which is one of the reasons I wanted it. In a classic V-twin, the rear cylinder can get very hot, which can shorten the engine's life, so these vents are a clever design. Moto Guzzi was originally famous for single-cylinder bikes. Then, in the 60s, they brought out the first V7 with a transverse V-twin engine, which is now their trademark. There are other nice touches, like the cool logo and the metal tank badges, which are very good quality. The overall build quality is good, with clean welds. The foot pegs are also decent quality. But yes, there are quirks and oddities. The manufacturing isn't like a Honda, but it's a Moto Guzzi. It's Italian. You live with those quirks. It's part of the bike's charm. Maybe buy a Honda instead. So, what about performance? Many reviewers say it vibrates a lot, and it does. At low speeds, up to about 4,000 RPM, the bike vibrates quite a bit. The whole thing shakes, which is great for that classic feel when you're just riding around town. But once you hit 4,000 RPM, which is about 70 mph on the highway, it becomes incredibly smooth. I rode it 100 miles on the motorway when I bought it, and it was super smooth. I'd even say my VFR can sometimes be more vibey on the motorway. So, it's smooth exactly when you want it to be, at high speeds, which prevents fatigue on long journeys. Many people don't mention this smoothness, but it's a real positive. But I've noticed there's no clunk when shifting into first gear, which is a bit odd because I'm used to bikes doing that. Also, shifting into sixth feels a bit vague. You don't quite know if you're in sixth until you release the clutch. My T100 felt unstable on the motorway. It accelerates well and easily cruises at 70–80 mph. With my T100, every time a lorry passed, I felt like I was shifting a meter, which was very unsettling. It's very stable on the motorway, which was a big concern for me, and I'm really happy about it. I like that it looks like an old-school gear lever. Don't worry, they wash off. But I assume this is part of quality control, indicating that the nuts have been properly tightened. They go around the bike, torque everything, and mark it to show it's ready. It's lovely looking, as is the rear light, so overall, these bikes are very, very good. If you have OCD, maybe look at a different bike. My VFR has been my main bike, and I've been swapping my second bike a lot. At the moment, it's still in the break-in period, so I'm not riding it far until its first service. But he had mapped it and put exhaust on it. They're not ridiculously quiet. I'd like a few more pops and bangs on the overrun, but exhausts tend to sound better with age. Go watch Fort9, another great YouTube channel. He talks about the tiny bits left over from manufacturing in the oil of new bikes. Italian manufacturers aren't the best in this regard, so you really want that first service to get all that old oil out. So, get the break-in done, get the oil out, change all the fluids, and then you can start with modifications. The break-in for this bike is 900 miles, which is quite long. One good thing, when I spoke to the Moto Guzzi dealer, I asked about the warranty. He said no. As long as it's serviced to the specified schedule, it doesn't have to be a Moto Guzzi dealer, which is good news. That means I can do the engine oil, gearbox oil, and probably the final drive oil myself. Then I'll take it to a good independent mechanic I know to do the valve checks. But I'm not a mechanic, so I'd rather get a professional for that, especially the first one. One other quirk to note if you plan to change your own oil: this bike has actually three different oils. The engine oil is standard, but the gearbox uses its own separate oil. The gearbox also has a small filter you can replace. I probably wouldn't replace it every time, but maybe every 3 or 4 changes. Sometimes shaft drives can feel a bit jerky, but this one is really good. Moto Guzzi has been doing shaft drives for a very long time, so they've perfected it. It's a really good-feeling shaft drive. No jerkiness, no clunkiness you sometimes get with other shaft drive bikes. So, the Moto Guzzi V7 Special. If you want one and you're eyeing it up, and you can live with some of the strange quirks, buy it. You won't be disappointed. If you're worried about motorway riding and stability, it's very stable. Don't worry about that. And if you're worried about it being too vibey, remember, after 4,000 RPM, it's really smooth, so it's not a problem. It vibrates exactly where you want it to, and not where you don't want it to, which is at high speed on long journeys. I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully, it shed a bit of light on this bike and some things that reviewers won't tell you. Bye for now.